So, quick update from the last Master League video. I did it, Hoopla got up to excited state, and I think to celebrate we'll have some battles with it. With the team that inspired me to actually use it, despite it not being the most ideal thing for Master League. From IVs, Pokemon type, anything really. Just using him because he's my friend, and I wanted to get him some time in the spotlight. If you weren't around for the last part, I basically started experimenting with a side team that had a Dragonite instead of Gyarados. And halfway through I'm like, you know what? I want to see what other Pokemon are like, and Hoopla, I need to do more activities with Hoopla to boost up his mood. So let's throw him on here, and I don't think he may not have done the greatest his first battle debut, but he did pretty good in the second one. So I was thinking I'm going to finish up the set with this team and see how he does in these other two. Also, I think I said I was going to take off the earrings in the last video. Oops. Oh, look at you flex that non-existent shiny. I kid, a shiny's a shiny. I have a shiny Togekiss myself, but I don't think I've really actually used it because it's not the most IV relevant thing ever. Like, one thing about having Hoopla on the team, it counteracts the fact that I have such a ground weakness so well. And like, there is nothing that this Swampert can do that I am really afraid of. It can Earthquake all it wants, that's actually better for me than the Hydro Cannon. And you saw how decently it ate the Hydro Cannons. I should emphasize, Gyarados is one of those Pokemon that I would consider strong yet frail more than powerful. So the fact that it like barely took a third of health from a Hydro Cannon is pretty darn good. Can't underemphasize that enough. Still though, it is wearing away at me relatively quickly, and I like to get to at least one more crunch. Maybe even take out the Swampert before going down. So it does suck down using my last shield up already, but like how much we're doing to pretty much most likely his big Metagross counter. If this is the only thing he's got to counteract Metagross, then I can deal with essentially sacrificing Hoopla to the cause. Because we took quite a few Hydro Cannons, and that's no ordinary feat. And waste away all of his shields. And we may, possibly, probably not, have enough energy to get up to a crunch. Yeah, just barely didn't have enough to get to crunch. Well, Dozer, it's time to shine. Your ground specialties are needed. And you're probably... Okay, it probably has Dragon Breath and not... Okay, I got Switch Advantage on this thing now, and I know what his last two Pokemon are. He has no shields. Thank you, Hoopla. Hoopla, you have saved the day. I may be counting my chickens before I hatch, but you gotta admit I have quite the advantage. Ouch. Just ouch. And I just realized both these Pokemon are technically Dialga counters. If I don't want to be risky... You know what? Let's just see what the worst he can do to me is. That is the worst he can do to me. I was gonna say, I don't even need to store my energy up to an Earthquake. I could just go for Meteor Mash, and this is definitely a good time to emphasize that. I think that's a situation I was talking about real early on with this team, that I was not using Meteor Mash to its full potential. I would not think that a not very effective move would do that much damage to pretty much the most meta-relevant Pokemon of the Master League. I don't know if a Gyarados is a good recommendation for everyone, and there's probably a reason why people would run an Outrage one over Crunch. Actually, I think they keep Crunch to just get rid of Hydro Pump, and I can see why. I'm not sure if I'm really ready to dedicate Hoopla to that sort of thing though. I am in the disadvantage, I should switch. My only fear is I'm giving him the switch advantage, so he'll probably just switch to something to counteract my Gyarados. But at least this is a good way to learn about early threats right away. And he better at least consider shielding, because I do at least do strong neutral damage against Well, that is a good amount of strong damage. Now do I shield? You know what? I hate to do this, but I'm gonna shield because I die to a Wild Charge probably at full health. That much health is not a good thing either. So I am in the shield disadvantage. We are about even on Pokemon. Still trying to evaluate if this situation is good for me or not. Okay, we're at least equal on shields. He has a slight Pokemon advantage. I probably could have... it might have actually been smarter for me to leave my Rhyperior with more health, because I could like farm a few bits of extra energy off it. But at least Metagross, the Pokemon that I want to have that, has that. And I have Rhyperior in the back. I was gonna say, just in case of something like this. This is not good for me when I think more about it. Both my Pokemon are weak to this guy, like majorly. I know it's more weak though, so I think I'm gonna like, unfortunately have to strategically play my Rhyperior as a sacrificial play. Try to swap right before he does the Earthquake. That might have been a little too early, to be honest. You can probably just go for the Hydro Cannon. And I'm extra weak to that. Can I at least get to a Surf before I go down? Yes, I can. I think this is actually the one time that it's actually better for me to have Surf over Rock Record. Like, I don't think I would have actually made it. Holy cow. Holy cow. It's a good thing I did what I did. In fact, if I knew the Togekiss was sitting in the back, or maybe it was sitting in the front again and I just forgot. Point being, I kind of wish I swap over to Rhyperior sooner now, but he might have... I won, and that's an important thing. But man... Surf saved my hide. For a team that I didn't think was anywhere near as good as my core, we did pretty good with that set though. It's not a charge TM, but it's a TM. And honestly, after all the powering up I did for my Kyogre, I need all the rare candies I can get. Since we probably got a lot of extra time in this video, I can introduce you all to a friend that I would love to use in Master League. Dang, I could have sworn I walked enough to actually do another Master League set. So we definitely got enough time to showcase my friend, who I'd love to use in Master League, but I only have 80 Gibble candy. Got a perfect Drago. Take a good look at this little guy. Perfect IV Gibble, but not enough candies in the world to actually implement it. Because even if I had enough candies to evolve it all the way, I would still need like 75 more to teach it that second move. There's a bit of story behind my friend Kata Drago here. It started with the very first Gibble I got. I was in the crunch that a lot of people are of just never ever finding Gibbles anywhere. So I go up to Con Bravo, which is basically the one big convention that I do every year. Because with the weird placement I'm at, even though I'm in the United States, Canada is actually closer to me. Like, most conventions are at least a 5-hour drive, but Con Bravo is actually a 2-hour drive. So it's actually reasonable to go to. So while I was at Con Bravo, I found my very first Gibble. Just like a few blocks away from the convention center. I caught it. We were good friends. It wasn't the greatest IVs, but at least had perfect attack, so it was a friend and all. Then, like, one of the more prominent members of my Pokemon Go community in one of the areas I play, the two of us hit lucky friends. We finally met up during a community day, and he already did his lucky trade, special trade for the day. So after some thought, we decided, why not swap Gibbles? I'll be honest, I was real hesitant idea at first, because I had so much attachment to this dumb little Nugget Dragon. because he was my friend, like a sentimental part of the convention, but eventually I decided to swap. And when we did, the Gible I got in exchange was a lucky 100% IV Gible, so I had zero room to complain. And honestly, like, and now that I actually have the Gible, it's not like I sacrificed the memory of getting the original Gible up in the convention. I just added on to the story with something even more fantastic. So maybe someday I'll actually use that Garchomp. The one downside is I'm actually probably the one person in the world who doesn't like Garchomp. I understand that it's objectively cool. I get why people find that it's cool. It just doesn't strike me the same way. Plus, I do have a couple bad memories with Garchomp. I was not one of the people who ran into as a roadblock when first playing the Diamond and Pearl games. Those of you who play the Diamond and Pearl games know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't like talking about it, but it reminds me too much of one of the lower points of my entire commentary career here on YouTube. And I think I'll leave it at that. Well, that's at least a bit of a story to stretch the video out a little bit longer. It still feels a little short, especially compared to the last one. I'm sorry, I could have sworn that I had a second set ready to go, and we would just be able to do that. But I have like, surely I have some videos that I've been sitting on that I could just post commentate on. I could do the first set of that batch because I did the second set beforehand. But that just would feel weird and disorienting. And give me a sec if I can find something good to talk over. By the way, I just realized, I'm pretty sure Gyarados is one of those Pokemon that only cost 10,000 Stardust. So if you like what you see with the Gyarados that I used today, definitely a good budget option to consider. Well, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure I kinda either dump any other Master League recordings I did, or just did the battles without recording, because like, I had a major slump in between videos, I have to admit, like, maybe like a 5 to 10 losing streak before I really started experimenting around with my core. It's basically a wins up, lose sums, and point being I just didn't think any of them were interesting enough to keep, or I just wasn't recording at the time because I was doing it on a work break or something. Thank you all for tuning in though. If you like what you see, be sure to keep me in mind in your feeds. There's ways to listen to this in audio form on my podcast platforms, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you probably heard enough from every other YouTuber exactly what you need to do to see more. Until next time though, I will see y'all later. Take care.